Hello for Easter Sunday, sunrise service and early morning mass. Happy Easter. For the homily today, I'm just taking um, three one-liners from the readings this morning, Easter morning. And they are, the first one is from the responsorial psalm. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad. The second one is from the last sentence of the first reading. To Christ all the prophets bear witness that everyone who believes in him will receive forgiveness of sins through his name. And then finally, a little yeast leavens all the dough. Let's just talk with this first one. Can you imagine that that young man or baby or child from Nazareth has had such an impact on the world even 2,000 years later? He was born, young man, and was killed, Jesus. And he was killed with two other criminals, two other thieves, one on his right and one on his left. And the one on one side, and they all three died. And one of them, he died, and we don't know anything else about him. But one on the other side made an impact on Jesus, and a powerful impact on him, Jesus made. This day you will be with me in paradise. So all three died. All three went out of town, out of time, and hopefully with God. But we know in particular the good thief, he wasn't even baptized. The good thief, he realized he was a sinner. And Jesus said, this day you will be with me in paradise. And Jesus also died, is in paradise, in heaven, with that man, that same day. But of all three, only one came back. And that was Jesus from Nazareth. He rose again, all in his splendor and glory and the light and the bright or whatever, with a new body. And Jesus is the first one to do that. He came back with a new body, and he stayed another 40 days. And he was different. They didn't recognize him. And he went and just sort of popped up or whatever a new body can do. I have no idea, but it sounds pretty fun. And he stayed around for 40 days and went back to be with that good thief. This day you will be with me in paradise. And I sort of think even maybe the bad thief. Because Jesus came and suffered and died for all people, not just Catholics, Christians, but for all people. And the only way you cannot be redeemed is if you decide that you don't want to. That certainly is, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad. And then Paul, to the Corinthians, the second one-liner, says, all the prophets bear witness that everyone who believes in him will receive forgiveness of sins and through his name. Well, believes in Jesus. Well, the prophets, they didn't know Jesus. They talked about maybe the coming of Jesus, but they didn't know Jesus. And they bear witness to Jesus. But believing is not just in the head. It's not just, I believe that that is blue. I believe that she is good. Believing also means in the heart, that I believe in Jesus in the heart, or I believe in the good in art. And probably most of all, believing is doing what you believe. And I think that's the key to Jesus Christ. That good thief on the cross, or that bad thief on the cross, who just says, remember me in your kingdom. And Jesus says, he did a good thing. Remember me. I'm sorry, you didn't do the injustice that I did. You're good. I wasn't. Remember me. And boom, this day you will be with me in Paris. At paradise. I just think that's unbelievable. But I think that's the way it works. And it's more important than the head and even the heart, but it's more important and even the doing. That's believing. And whoever does, and will be judged, whoever does will be with Jesus in heaven. Remember in John's gospel, when he talks about, I'm going to go and prepare a place for you, and I'll come back and I'll take you with me back. And then he says, this day, or he says, as far as where I am, meaning where I am, you will be. That's the same thing as the good thief. This day you will be with me in paradise. Jesus says that at the same time about all of us. That's interesting. So really, it's the doing good brings the salvation of Christ and belief in Christ. And finally, the little yeast. You know, the little yeast in the dough makes a big loaf of bread. And that's pretty much the way the world is. It's pretty much the way, definitely the way we are. You know, right now I'm looking at the Ukrainian people. I find them to be amazing, amazing Christians, amazing what they're going through. You know, and there's only, what, 44 million of them in a world of, what, 13 billion. It's a drop in a bucket. And yet they're doing what they're doing, and I think they are suffering. I think they are witnessing, and I think they are doing things, and God knows it. I think they're really redeemed. I'm amazed. They're a little yeast in proportionate to the big world. But then you look at yourself. I mean, you're just one. I'm just one. But we're a little yeast too, wherever we associate and live and so forth. That we not only believe in the head of Jesus, but we believe in the heart of Jesus, and we try to do and act the way Jesus did. If you can do that, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice in him. Jesus and his message is the light of the world. You know, we see that every morning if the sun comes up, if the clouds aren't in the way. Jesus, his message is the light of the world, and it comes up to enlighten the world. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad. Happy Easter, everybody.